Well, it looks like August is going to be a predominantly financial focused month. You've got the moon transiting the upper part of your horoscope till around the 3rd or 4th of the month. So a lot of dominant energies there in the material area, which of course is your forte, Taurus, being the earth sign. And also what we see is your ruling planet still moving through the finance sector, second zone of your solar horoscope, which is Gemini. But not for long. After the 8th, we'll find that Venus, your ruling planet, actually moves into the sign of Cancer. Now that's an interesting placement, because just looking here at the horoscope, excuse me if I'm looking away, just trying to get a handle on this with your transits and the map, we see a very powerful, almost obsessive trait to your Venus-Pluto opposition. Now that's important. That can tell us that, for example, you've had this bee in your body, you want to get away, you want to have a holiday, you need to just break free. Well, if that's been in the back of your mind, right now, I think that could almost become the dominant factor, an almost obsessive sort of background noise in your mind telling you, get out, get away. And from what I see in the horoscope here, particularly with this Mars-Saturn combination in the sign of Libra, which is your 6th house of work, again, I may have mentioned this last month, a bit of a compulsion there in your work. I've just got a vision of you with this cat o' nine tails. Remember those old self-flagellation methods where you're just whipping yourself like this? And that's probably why that obsession to get away is going to be very, very timely. You've got all these wounds on your back by the looks of it. You're working too hard. You know, there's an old saying, you can work hard or you can work smart. And I think that's the key theme for you this month. Balance of both, but also sometimes a need for a bit of relaxation before you come up, you've got to come up for air sometimes. And this is one of those key times when I see that happening. Now there's a lot of aspects happening this month to your ruling planet. Let's just take a look at that conjunction I've just mentioned to the sign of Cancer around the 7th. And then that exact opposition on the 15th of August. So that compulsive, I call it neurosis, but I don't mean that in a terrible way. Just it's at that time, around the 15th, when all of this can come to a head and you really, really need to get out. So that's the 15th. And then closely followed by a very, very powerful right angle aspect to Uranus. Now, that to me is the classic sort of sudden, abrupt shift, where you might be thinking about all this sort of stuff, but the penny drops or someone says something and you're out of here. So I think the middle of the month is going to be a very, very key period for you when you could be doing things out of character, a little abruptly, suddenly. And actually that's not bad either. You know, sometimes a bit of shock tactics can help the people that are maybe handing you the whip to do the damage to yourself in your work environment. So that could be good. Then later in the month we see there's a couple of aspects there. We've got the Mars-Neptune aspect on the 26th and the Mercury sextile aspect to Saturn. Saturn being a very good planet and Mercury also being a good planet. The end of the month looking a lot better for you, particularly in communications. And here we see also that the combined influence of the Sun and Mercury there in your domestic sphere brings a lot more openness to your relationships with your loved ones in the family sphere. Now, love affairs. Let's talk about that, because you're probably asking, well, if I take off to Switzerland and do some skiing in the Alps, is that going to be by myself or with someone that I love? Well, from your sun sign, we see that Mars-Saturn combination is in the 6th house. Now, according to astrologers, the 6th house is the house of enemies. So this could actually be a period where you're having one of those little differences with your partner if you're in a relationship. Not talking, you're sort of arms folded, back to back, that sort of thing. But as I said, 15th of the month, even that stuff is going to clear up for you. You've just got to stop, I suppose, ruminating and going over the same old with this sort of stuff. The discipline for you this month is the art of letting go of the last moment. the art of just letting go of that feeling associated with a thought, an event, something in the past. And if you can do that, then you're not only going to have a good month, but I could easily say that that's a stepping stone to a much broader form of awareness, which I think we'd like to keep, so that that can give you some forward motion on the spiritual and evolutionary level as well, Taurus. Thanks for tuning in. I'll be back again next month. Astrology.com.au is the site. Lots of free stuff there, as I always mention. And of course, yours truly if you need some more personal work done. Thank you.